Fans slam WNBA stars for protesting their pay after the league posted a $40 million loss last year. Yeah, they want us to pay them what they owe. Fine. So they now owe the NBA how many millions of dollars? They're still being subsidized by the regular NBA. So yeah, they don't get paychecks until they pay back what they owe. Caitlin Clark and her fellow WNBA players wore T-shirts telling the league bosses to pay us what you owe us, as talks are over a new collective bargaining agreement stalled during All-Star Week. Why even keep the WNBA up at this point? Like, is it for legal reasons? Yeah, just make it a fucking casual league. I mean, shit, man, they play at the level of middle school boys. I don't see very many middle school boys demanding to make a living playing basketball. And negotiations between WNBA, the Women's National Basketball Players Association, have continued in Indianapolis, but failed to reach a deal and erase the friction between the two sides. In fact, many WNBA players were disappointed by the lack of progress of an in-person session on Thursday that was attended by 40 players. Negotiations certainly didn't narrow the gap between the two sides. Oh, okay. So what they tried to do is they tried to bring as big of a mob as they could so they can intimidate the other side. Wouldn't it be funny if the other side bought 40 regular NBA players? I think Thursday's meeting was good for the fact that it could be in the same room as the league and the board of governors, said Liberty star Breanna Stewart, a union vice president. But I think, to be frank, it was a wasted opportunity. The dispute began when the players union announced that after a current year -1 season that they would opt out of the CBA on October 31st current year. With television revenues on the rise, largely due to the presence of Caitlin Clark, the players want a larger piece of the financial pie. Look, you fucking idiots. Yes, you're actually doing better than ever, but you're still losing money. Although, yeah, if you want a larger piece of the debt, you're welcome to have it, I guess. Yeah, maybe once you make an extra $40 million in a year so you're not bleeding money anymore, then you could get paid. The players' top priorities have greatly increased or are greatly increased salaries and a revenue sharing plan. Oh, I think they should get it. Give them the revenue sharing plan. Make it a profit sharing plan instead, though. And which includes sharing the debt if the league doesn't make money. And the WNBA players reportedly only receive 9.3% of league revenue, which is way less than athletes in most other sports leagues. Yeah, the WNBA doesn't actually make money, though. It loses money. Which other sports leagues are ran at a loss? Yeah, so pick a sports league that's being run at a loss and look at their players. They're like that's what you need to be making the comparison to. But as the New York Post article in October pointed out, the WNBA is set to lose $40 million last season, and NBA owners are starting to get frustrated by it. Yeah, we covered that article, and it was great. The NBA owns nearly 60% of the league, and the owners were pressing Commissioner Adam Silver for answers on why they can't, when they can expect a return on their investment. Never! Did you honestly believe there would ever be a return? Like, the only way you could possibly do that is if you completely scrapped the current system and made it like lingerie basketball with good-looking players. You might be able to get something back there. There's a lot of money coming into the league over the next few years with the new 11-year media rights deal worth over $2.2 billion. 3 new expansion teams that each pay $250 million in fees and many new sponsors. But that's nowhere near enough. However, the forecast for this season remained unclear, and fans questioned why players should be paid more when the league has been operating at a loss. So one asked, when's the last time the WNBA made a profit? Genuinely asking. Yeah, the answer is never. It has never made a profit. So yeah, I think the players should be forced to pay to be able to play. Another commented, the league doesn't turn a profit. I guess they're playing for free. A third added, now how is not one of them aware that they're bringing in absolutely no money? Oh, I think they're aware. They just don't care. Like that's the key difference. And people always forget this. Being aware and giving a shit, like they're not the same. What entity are they asking to pay them? Like, where does the money they want come from? The regular NBA. Another viewer commented, their league loses tons of money. They should be paying the league to play. 100%. Maybe that'll motivate them to find ways to make money. One angry viewer simply added, they have no shame. We've known that for a while, but it's good that the info's getting out. So according to Sports Illustrated, WNBA salaries range from a minimum of $66,000 to a super maximum contract around $250,000. That's more money than a lot of us make, and yet they're still bitching. For reference, Clark will earn $78,000 in the current year season, while All-Star rival Nafisa Collier has an average annual salary of $184,000. And one of those two is pretty much single-handedly responsible for the boost in revenue the league is seeing. Guess which one? Now, Arike Ogunbowale of the Dallas Wings is the highest average annual salary of the WNBA at $241,000. Players can supplement their income through commercial deals, and it's thought Clark, the Indiana Fever sensation, earned $11 million in current year -1. So she's already a multimillionaire, and she's demanding more. Dude, she alone could pay back a quarter of the WNBA's debts if she just surrendered that money. I'm quite sure all the if you add up all the other players combined, they might be able to pay back the WNBA's debts. Let's make them do that. It's what they owe. The deadline to reach a new agreement is just 3.5 months away. Revenue sharing is truly transformational. Los Angeles Sparks guard Kelsey Plum told reporters, we want to get a piece of the entire pie, not a piece of part of the pie. We're a resilient group. We know the unity it takes to be able to get the outcome desired. Chicago Sky, second-year forward Angel Reese, term of negotiations, disrespectful. Well, do you guys realize that your pie is negative? You're not going to be taking pieces of a pie. You're going to be contributing to buy a new pie. If that's what you want, though, give it to them. Obviously, the women's basketball is skyrocketing. It's still not making money. Reese told reporters, and it's important for us to get what we want now, not just now, but for the future as well. You know, I would love to at least once see one of these situations where the other side just walks away. Like, how hilarious would it be if all the NBA team owners just said enough? Like, yeah, enough is enough. We're not dumping any more of our money into this anymore. We're not subsidizing this anymore. Imagine the freakouts. It was an eye-opener for me hearing the language of things, not things that I was happy to hear. It was disrespectful. A proposal we were sent back. We're on a time crunch. No one wants a lockout. Well, I'm quite sure the owners would rather just shut the whole league down, but it's being forced to stay open for whatever reason. At the end of the day, we have to stand firm. We're not going to be moved on certain topics. So hopefully the league comes back quickly so that we can have more dialogue, more conversation, and get the ball rolling. So how would they respond if the league was talking the same way? Oh, yeah, we're not going to be moved on certain topics. So, yeah, you guys just need to stop whining and come back to the table and talk. We've already made clear that there's no room to talk. It's either our way or the highway. So, yeah, you're welcome to come back and talk whenever you want. Corley and Stewart were co-founders of Unrivaled, a 3-on-3 league that debuted last offseason. The fact that both players are part of the WNBA negotiating party while having significant financial investment in a rival league would appear to be a conflict of interest, though Collier has fought back with or against the narrative. Now, how is that even allowed? I mean, is it really a rival league, or is it just like a sub-league of this one? So as part of discussions, as WNBA wants its league to be prioritized among the players, some of whom play overseas. Players point out that Unrivaled's pay scale was better for most players than what they receive in WNBA salary. Now, this is the only fair argument I've heard so far. Like, how can you expect to be the priority if you pay less than the other guy? No, that's not going to work out. If you want to be the priority, you need to pay more than the other options. Then you'll be the priority. This is the only legitimate point they have. WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert described negotiations as very constructive dialogue. Engelbert says she remains optimistic that a deal will get done. Well, it has to be, or else the league isn't going to function. which no one would notice or care about. So, maybe that's the better option. Maybe just let them fall. Who cares at this point?